Hey everybody, this is Francesco Abbruzzino with the Uncensored Report. And today I want to talk about progressives. And did you ever notice how some of these progressives are fine with inequality and corrupt governance as long as everybody's politically correct? And sometimes who lost apparently is more important than who won. Think about it. You look at the corporations out there, okay? They expected that once again they would wield significant influence and significant power over the political campaigns by donating millions of dollars in contributions and speaking fees. But guess what? They lost. Corporations lost. Mainstream media, they lost big time. And it's funny, you look at CBS, a good example, CBS, they were out there and they're running their anchors, were talking about Hillary losing, and it was almost as though they were at a funeral. It was all hushed, and they talked about 2 hours, just showing all these campaign images of workers with their sad faces over Clinton and everything. And they wouldn't even shoot over to Trump and illustrate the glory and how great and excited everybody was over there. Mainstream media, huge loser in this competition, in this campaign, in this presidential campaign. And their punditry that's out there. They got it wrong from the start all the way down to the end. And that's because they're closed-minded. They're arrogant. They think they're superior. The George Wills of the world. They applied the double standard to Trump and Hillary. You know, Trump's speeches, they were ethically questionable to history in their minds. They were judged by some moral standard. They were declared to be unfit to be heard. Hillary's actions, on the other hand, were judged to be strictly legalistic. Well, you know what? If you can't indict her, so she's fit for office. Think about it. Donald wasn't fit for office because you didn't like some of the speeches that were coming out. You didn't like some of the allegations that were made from some 30 years ago with nobody verifying it. But you have factual information on what Hillary did, and she is fit for office. The punditry lost. The posters lost. We don't even need to go there, how bad it was there. Everybody knows how rigged it was. The posters were out there inflating the Democratic colors. The other problem with the posters was they weren't, when they call you, they'll say, are you a first-time voter? Yeah, well, they'll get rid of you. And what they weren't acknowledging is there was a ton of first-time voters that were going to the polls and voting for the Donalds. They didn't take into factor that a lot of people weren't speaking up just because of the vitriol, hatred that is geared towards them if they say, I'm going for Trump. The parties lost. The Democratic Party lost in a big way, and so did the Republican Party. Both parties lost. Both are hopeless. They're out of touch with the changes that are occurring within America. Democrats are upset about losing. They should look at their party system, the way they handed out those super delegates and screwed old Bernie over. Tell me that. That's a major flaw. And if I was a Democrat, I'd be pushing the party to look that over. The industrial military complex, they lost too, didn't they? What this election did was showed that we're sick and tired of these interventionists. We're sick and tired of the globalists and their warmongering. But they won't register. The pay-to-play grifters, all the investigations, all the indictments, all the prosecutions and convictions, they'll begin as soon as Trump is sworn in. And then what are all of them going to do? Heads will roll, according to Donald. Will he go after all these people? You know, globalization boils down to freeing mobile capital to rove the globe for opportunities. You know, they want to get out there. They want to mine the cheap resources, the assets, the labor. They're stripping Africa bare and move on, leaving ruined communities behind. And then there's the progressives, but not just the progressives, the fake progressives. They're perfectly fine with the souring inequality that's out there, the corrupt governance, as long as everyone's politically correct. So the oppressor class is acceptable in their mind, as long as they speak respectfully while stepping on your neck, stabbing you in the back. But they're not real progressives. Real progressives see jobs and communities as solutions. Not welfare planning, not centralist planning. Real progressives see the eradication of the industrial military complex, of all the warmongering, the imperial pretensions, the corrupt pay to play. They essential projects of liberty and democracy. We need more real progressives out there. We need change. And if anything, this election should send a huge boom over the Democratic and Republican parties that change is needed, and they need to listen to the people. Unfortunately, it's so entrenched, I don't think we're going to see it, guys. This has been Frankie with the Uncensored Report.